welcome back to the Momversations Club, the podcast born out of the idea that every mum needs a tribe. I'm Claire Strong.
And I'm Christina Struckmeyer. We're two moms just like you, navigating the chaotic, challenging, and often isolating world of motherhood.
Yeah, it sure can be lonely, and it's said that it takes a village to raise a child, but in today's crazy world, we want to know, where the F is the village?
It's a question that resonates with so many of us who find ourselves raising children, managing careers, and trying to maintain our identities, often with a sense of isolation.
But we're here to remind you that you're not alone. The Momversations Club is your village, a place where you feel valued, empowered, and appreciated.
We believe that by sharing our experiences, successes, and struggles, we can create a virtual village for all of you mamas out there.
So join us every week for an honest, raw, and relatable discussion about all aspects of being a mum, including those things that you just don't want to talk about to anyone else.
So if you've ever asked yourself, where the F is the village? Then you found your tribe. Let's get into it.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one because Halloween is such a huge deal here, and you're a massive Halloween fan, aren't you?
Yes, but I love that you're dressed like a pumpkin today. For those who can't see you, for those who can't see our podcast, she's in a nice orange blouse.
Well, this is actually a Lululemon working out top, but it's orange. So it was like the nearest thing I had to being Halloween-y.
Versus me, who has a collection of like Halloween inspired shirts that I wear all of October.
Yes. Now, this is the girl who in September, when preparing her daughter's birthday party, really wanted to get all the Halloween decorations out. But your husband had the good sense to say, no, darling, it's not Halloween yet.
He made me hold off until after Labor Day, which I felt was cruel and unusual punishment. But, you know, it is what it is.
So here's the difference. Listen, here's the difference. So I spoke to my mum yesterday, and my nephews were over at her house. My mum's back in England. And I was talking to my nephews who are like 7 and 9. And I was telling them that people were putting their Halloween decorations up here. And my mum was like, what? Already? It's not even Halloween yet. And that there, Christina, is a huge difference between Halloween in England versus Halloween in America. Because
Totally.
when I was growing up, Halloween wasn't even really a thing. So like in the 80s and 90s,
what?
Like, it really was. No, like I barely went trick or treating. My mum maybe took me like once, like in my entire childhood. It was just like a not, yeah. It was like a non-issue.
My face right now. You can't see it, but
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Do they call that resting bitch face, or is that something else?
No, resting bitch face is like where you're flat and you look unapproachable.
Oh, okay. Well, what face was that then?
It was that, I can't believe you're saying these things once, like once or twice. I can't deal. That's so sad.
Well, so it's so funny. And then like in recent years, it has become bigger, but it's still not like here. I remember one time I'd come over here to visit. That's before I moved over here. And I was at LAX airport at the Virgin Atlantic terminal, and like the staff were dressed up. This is on Halloween. And I remember like texting my friends like, oh my God, it's so quirky here. Like staff are actually like wearing Halloween costumes to work.
These crazy Americans.
Yeah. Well, you said it. I'm glad you. Oh, sorry, I just scratched my face. I'm glad you said it and not me. But so my girls now love Halloween. It's like their favorite time of year since we moved here. And they're still talking about, they're already planning their outfits. They've been planning their outfits for about 3 months actually. So I don't know what they're going as this time. But it's such a big deal here, and I'm embracing it.
You don't sound very embracing.
I embrace the Reese's Pieces and stuff that I get given on Halloween because the kids can't eat them all. I embrace that.
Major question. I need to know as a British import here. What is your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, so that's a good one. So it's got to be, well, I'm a peanut butter like fiend, so it's got to be like anything Reese's. And so what I do, now I'm going to admit something here. So like the girls come back, they've been trick or treating, they have like the huge bag full of candy. and like I will literally, like some sort of like possessed psycho, go through the bag and take out, because they're not bothered about peanut butter. I take out all the Reese's pieces and all like Reese's whatever, anything peanut butter related, and I'll kind of eat as many as I can until I start feeling sick. I know it's ridiculous. I have no self control. I totally will admit here and now, when it
Oh my
comes to peanut
God.
butter, especially chocolate peanut butter, I have zero self control. I will literally keep
Yeah.
eating, and I feel the sugar like poisoning me. I'm like, I know it's not good, but I can't stop.
I know they bank on that. That's why they make their money, man.
Yeah,
No,
it is.
I think as you didn't have this growing up because you didn't have
Uh-huh.
it in Britain, but in the United States,
Hmm.
oh my God. For
No, I
those who
don't want
cannot
to. I'm
see,
sorry.
she's
I'm
now
sorry
in a
to
pirate
interrupt you
hat.
mid. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you mid flow, but just for you, I thought I'd make an effort. So I believe. So I mean, maybe it's a pirate hat. I actually think it's a soldier's hat because one year Kyle and I, so Kyle's my husband, he's American, I'm obviously English. We dressed up. I was a red coat, and he was the like the British Army. I was a British Army soldier, like from the Revolution, and he was an American, like a blue coat or whatever. So this is actually part of my like um
Wow.
outfit. But
Pulling it
you're
out from the
right.
archives.
It looks like a pirate hat.
It does.
But carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I
No,
just
you're
wanted
fine.
to say that I was
I love
trying.
it. I love this interruption. It's such a visual one. So hopefully people can
Uh,
kind of go to our TikTok or YouTube and see the
I-
majesty that is that hat.
yeah.
But what I was gonna say is that you did not grow up in the United States, and so
Mm-mm.
you don't know that there was a lot of fear-based stuff that we had growing up. Like it was like, don't go near a white truck, you're gonna get swiped by, don't go follow the man with the free puppies. And one of the things that
Oh,
we said in the 90s and 80s is that there was a rumor that people were putting razor blades in chocolate. And so
shit.
all of these like people would bring their bags of candy to like the doctor's office or the dentist's office to have it x-rayed to make sure it was safe.
Oh my
And
God.
what my dad used to do, speaking of stealing candy, is he would
Yeah.
go through my candy and pick out
Mm.
all of the favorite kind and say, these are all like a little suspect. Like these are
Oh,
not
you're
safe.
kidding me. That's so
He used to
funny.
take my candy.
Oh my God. Under the guise of like you could be poisoned or.
Totally.
Oh my
And
God.
my parents had
That's
zero chill.
hardcore.
My parents were young. Like I've shared,
Yeah.
but my mom was 16,
Yeah.
my dad was 17 when they had me. And
Wow. So
so
really young. Yeah.
they have zero chill. Like, well, my dad has passed since, but
Oh, I'm
but growing
sorry.
up, oh, thank you, Claire. Yeah, but I think that's why I like Halloween so much is that my dad was really into it. Like it's kind of like a thing that we had, and he used to be really into getting our costumes and the whole thing. And he kind of taught me some shady trick or treat practices. I don't know if I should share
Like
them.
what? Yeah, sure. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Oh my god. Okay. So oh my- do you have a little treasure box of costumes underneath your seat? Be honest.
No, I do not. I just have these two little headpieces. But I just thought I would make it an effort, and I
Oh
wanted to
wow.
surprise you. So this, I mean, what is this like? Some sort of like black and white
It looks
ball?
like that
So,
movie with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. You ever see
oh
that?
yeah,
Eyes Wide
eyes
Shut.
wide shut. I haven't. But I know the one you mean. So
I
carry on.
mean, I
I've
don't
got
know
my
what you do
little
in your
tag there.
social life, like no judgment.
Yes, my bedroom antics.
Oh
But
my
yeah, no, no, no,
god.
no, no. Like wrong image. That's is totally legit. These are Halloween costumes. Which I just thought I'd. Oh, I thought I'd make the effort because I know how important Halloween is to you. So I
It
wanted to
is.
show some empathy and just get in the spirit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was just getting into so one of the things that I remember growing up is we were a little bit low income, and so
Mhm.
having a holiday where they give out a bunch of candy was like, holy crap. This never happens. Like let's
Yeah,
get on this. And
yeah, yeah.
my dad he had the foresight to realize that if we showed up to houses with a nearly empty or empty bucket, that the rich homes, which we would drive to like the richer area to go
Of
trick or
course, yeah.
treating,
Yeah.
um, the rich people would feel bad for us and they would give us more candy. And so what
Oh
he
my
would
god.
do is in his little beater car, he would put pillowcases for each of us. And he would have us go down a road and do like 4 or 5 houses and then come back to the car and dump it in the pillowcase. And then go
Oh,
back to the
that's
new
so
houses and be like, "Here
funny.
our first house."
Oh my god, and did it work?
It totally worked. It totally
Dang.
worked. They would give us like fistfuls of candy and like people would,
Oh.
because it's a first house, you don't want to be like the one that doesn't give them anything. So
Yeah.
it was pretty
So
legit.
oh my god, I love it. So the funny thing is, I don't know whether it happens here, but in England, so many people are not into Halloween. Like my parents, for example, because like I'm not there with the kids. Like we're over in the States, obviously now, and my brother, he probably won't be going over there with his kids. So my mum, dad, they will like turn the lights off in the house, and this is what people do in England. They'll turn the
Yeah.
lights off, and then that's like a signal to the trick or treaters: don't bother coming down the driveway.
That's also here. It's just that it's less
Okay.
common that people,
Yeah.
they also have the folks that want to like participate but aren't going to be home, and they'll leave like big buckets of candy
Yeah.
unattended,
Well, that's nice.
which
The
is
other
like a teenager comes by and steals all of it in about 5
well,
seconds.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that's gonna happen. The other thing that, does not happen in the UK, which I was so impressed with here actually, like people open up the houses and they go all out, and it's like some sort of like haunted trail through their actual house. And a
Ooh,
lot of these people, oh yeah, in my neighborhood, yeah. I mean, it's
wow.
it's like it's like Hollywood level. Hollywood, yeah, you
I need
think
to
you're
go
in
to your
Hollywood
house and trick or
Studios.
treat with the kids.
It's seriously my neighborhood. Talk about legit. This is like a great neighborhood's trick or treating. Oh yeah, there are these people, and what amazes me is they're like older, and so they haven't even got young kids. They're just doing it for the kids in the neighborhood, and they open up the house, and they've clearly spent like weeks preparing the house, and
Yeah.
you go on a haunted trail throughout the house.
Ooh,
And
that
then you
seems
go
a little.
outside and it like, continues into their backyard. One thing I will say is the best thing about Halloween in San Diego, Balboa Park. Now, if any of you are familiar with San Diego, Balboa Park is this beautiful historic park in downtown San Diego. And every year they have a haunted trail through Balboa Park. Oh my God, I love that. I love being scared. And the thing is, because I don't shut up, like when I'm like walking through these places, I'm screaming at everything. I'm such an easy
Oh my
target.
God.
So I don't want to give too, like, not a spoiler alert, so I don't want to give too much away, but all I will say to you is at the end of the haunted trail, like usually someone's running after me with a chainsaw, and it's an actual chainsaw. I mean, it's like you can smell the petrol, the whatever.
That the gasoline?
Yeah, the gasoline. You can smell it.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, and they're
No.
like running it because I'm screaming. I'm such an idiot. They're like trying to like slice my feet off.
Oh my, no, no. See,
Yeah,
I will,
you see,
no.
that's good. That's good. You see,
I
so I
love
say I'm
Halloween, but I
yeah.
will not do a haunted house. I don't do it.
You
First
see,
off,
I like that. I like that.
I grew up in the Bay Area, so I
Uh-huh.
have hands when I'm scared. Like if someone scares me, I'm gonna punch. And so I'm not
Well, you'd
someone
be
they want to
thrown out of the
scare.
haunted trail.
I know, I know. Also, since becoming a mom, my bladder is weak, so I will pee
Yeah.
myself at the haunted
Well, you
trail.
can just, take precautions. This is
Where
a
it
bit of a cop
depends.
out, I think. Yeah, exactly. So what about horror movies? Like, what about scary movies? Like, where are you on those? Can you tolerate them or
Some. So I can't do
okay?
anything that's like paranormal or like creepy, like Asian woman ghost, like
Oh,
none of that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I love a good slasher. Like my favorite is the Scream franchise. I love those
Yes, yeah,
movies.
they're good fun. Yeah, they are good fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's interesting because I'm a little bit different. I do like Scream. I remember I went to see like one of them in the cinema. I think I was underage at the time. I just like snuck in. I think the first one that came out.
Yeah, as you
I
do.
remember going with yeah. I remember going with a friend. But so I do like the Scream franchise, and the Halloween one. They're
Yes,
because
Halloween's classic.
they're so over the top that they kind of like it's not almost that scary. I mean, you still get like, but they're never
On
gonna close the blinds. They're never gonna, you just know you're waiting for someone to like jump out and massacre
Getcha.
someone. Yeah,
The jump
but
scares. Yeah.
yes, but I do like the scare. I like the ghost ones. I like the paranormal ones because I think what it is. I like to think that it could like really happen. And so that's what scares me. So with some of these like, the screams and stuff, they're a little bit ridiculous. They're like, far-fetched. But the scariest ones for me are the films that are based on a true story.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
like. Yeah, I can't do
Yeah.
those either. Like Texas Chainsaw
Yes.
Massacre and those kinds of things. It's like they've got true origins. My favorite is the Halloween franchise because I'm always like, how are you
Yeah.
guys not running faster than this guy is walking? Like, what is happening over there?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. I mean,
he's
he's
walking
pretty
so slow
resilient.
and even, and like they're just
Michael
like,
Myers.
yeah, Michael
Yeah.
Myers is just like
Yeah.
walking very slow, and then people are
Yeah.
like scattered. But then I think about myself in a horror movie, and I'm like,
Mm.
I think I would just give up and be like, "This is happening." Like, I just because I
Just
don't
like
wanna run.
succumb to the yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny. You've just reminded me of something. So when I was living in France, um, the girls and I lived in this old hunting lodge, and so it was this big old stone house that had been there for hundreds of years.
This is
The
already
rent
sounding
was
very creepy.
yeah, no, my God, it was. So it was. It was in the middle of a forest, so we basically had no neighbors. It was like ridiculously hardcore. My friends back home in England were like, "What the hell are you doing? Get on a plane, get back to civilization." But anyway, so the reason I'm telling you this is because I was going through a stage where the girls were very young. So one was like a baby and one was a toddler. So I'm very sleep deprived and all of that. And there was one night, I swear to God, but I was so tired. I was like, bring it the hell on. I was in bed and I got both girls with me in bed. Something was over me.
No.
There was this presence over me. I want to say it was a guy, and I feel like
No.
you see the guy's silhouette. I was so Christina, honest to God, this is how like hardcore my life was back then. I was so sleep deprived. I was like, you know what? I don't have time for you. I'm staying asleep. I'm going to sleep. Do your thing.
I
I'm
don't have
not
time for
dealing with
you.
you. And I think he was like, "Oh, okay, well, suit yourself." And he just left. I'm telling you now, there was definitely someone looming over me. Oh, and then I just want to share this other experience. Um, so this is when I was in England, and it was my ex-husband and I. We'd gone away for the night in North Yorkshire. So I'm from Yorkshire, which is a very pretty rural area of England. Anyway, we were staying in this everything's old back there, this
Yeah.
converted stable. So it was this old converted stable that had been around for like hundreds of years, and they'd converted it, like remodeled it basically, and it was like an Airbnb. And so we were staying in this place, and didn't get like a suspect feeling initially when we first arrived, but it was still daylight. And then we'd gone out for dinner, came back, and started getting ready for bed. He'd fallen asleep, he'd been drinking wine or whatever, so he was like out for the count. And I suddenly realized that the room was very, very heavy. There was just a heaviness to the room. Like that's all I can describe to you. Like the atmosphere, the air was heavy. And so, got ready for bed, went to bed. My God, Christina, the bed started to depress. Someone was sitting on the bed. I couldn't see them, but I felt them.
Oh my god.
And at this point, I'd switched all the lights off, but I was so scared that I didn't get out of bed to switch on a light. And so there was something on the bed. The TV came on and off. It was the worst night's sleep I've ever had. Then the next day it gets better. The guy who owns the place had said, "Oh, if you want, we don't have any bookings tonight, so I can do you a deal on the room." And I was like, "I am sorry." I was like, "I would not stay in that room if you gave it to me for free." I was like, "I had the worst night's sleep of my life." And then he proceeds to tell me, "Oh," he's like, "Did you see the ghost?" I was like, "What goddamn ghost?" He's like, "I didn't want to say anything beforehand." He's like, "But it is haunted." He's like, "The old blacksmith." So the
What?
yes, the old blacksmith haunts that area. We see him. He walks even into our house. He walks through the house. That was the
He
guy that's on my goddamn bed. And then the
things to
other,
mention.
yeah, I know. He thought it was like some sort of selling point. And then the
Oh my
other weird
god.
thing, and how animals are very sensitive to stuff
Yeah, I hear
and
that.
paranormal activity. Yeah, I have never met a more miserable dog in my life. He had this sheepdog, and I swear to God, this dog was like so miserable because of everything that was going on at that house. So yeah, we didn't stay another night, and I would never knowingly pay to stay in a room that was haunted.
No, no.
No,
That whole story gives me like the chills. I do not like that. Also, Claire, the common
love it.
denominator in these two stories is you.
Yeah.
So you're never allowed to stay at my house ever.
Hey, listen, I think genuinely, I think I'd have a lot more stories to tell you, but I don't think ghosts bother with me because they don't think I'm like sensitive enough. I'm not empathetic enough. Like my oldest, she sees lots of, she's like, they love her because she's got more empathy than me. I'm just like, whatever, I'm tired, don't bother me. I
Yeah,
don't want to
well,
be,
you scared that one ghost with your postpartum like
I
situation,
did.
and now he
I
told
was
the other
like,
ghosts, and they're
no,
not gonna
I'm
mess with
going to
you.
do for sure. I'm going to do a visual here, so anyone that's listening to this, like audio wise, may not benefit from it. But this is swearing in England, so I can do it in the US. This is basically the middle finger in England.
The
So
peace
this is
sign,
what I.
a
Well,
backwards
it's
peace
not.
sign.
It's the backwards peace sign, but that, like, yeah, it's swearing in England is very rude. Don't do that if you're in England. You know, don't ever do this to anyone. But I did that to this ghost. I was like, that's what I think to you trying to haunt me tonight. I'm so goddamn tired. Just take that.
You scared the shit out of the ghost.
I did. I was like, bring it on. And then the
Oh
other
my
time,
god.
in the other house I lived in France, which was even more like scary than the second one I've just told you about, I would get up in the night and there'd be like mist surrounding the house. Like you couldn't see out the windows because of the mist. It was like a horror movie. But I was getting up to make like a bottle or whatever. And I'd be like, there was listen to this. One night I was in bed, a car pulled up, bearing in mind that there was no reason to drive past our house. We were on like this country lane and there was just a farm at the end of the street. This car, I heard it. I swear to God, I heard it. It pulled up and it stopped next to the house. I was like, it's like 1 a.m. I'm not expecting anyone. What is this car doing? But once again, my like postpartum fatigue kicked in. I was like, you know what? Bring it on. I'm gonna like, you think you're gonna do something to me? You're the one who's gonna end up dead because you interrupted my sleep.
Totally, totally. And your
You know what I mean?
story is like giving me the heebie-jeebies because I don't know. Do you guys say that in England? Heebie-jeebies?
Yes, heebie-jeebies. Yeah, yeah.
Heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, we do.
Give me
Yeah,
give me the
yeah,
heebie-jeebies because
yeah.
I live on a farm in the middle of
Yes,
nowhere with a
yes,
long lane. And
yes,
if someone's coming down our lane, it's the same thing. It's like, who could that possibly be?
yes,
Who
yes.
would be here? Like who? And
Yeah,
it creeps me out. And my husband, he's like a guard dog. He's like, as
yeah,
soon as someone drives up, if he hears like the rocks
yeah,
coming through, he's like, "Grr,
yeah,
who's
yeah.
that?"
Well, that's so
Let me
funny.
see. You
So
know, he's
you just set Alex on them then. So okay, so
yeah.
bearing in mind that obviously this type of thing freaks you out, have you ever had any like ghost experiences?
Absolutely not, because the minute something like that happens, I would not be chilling in your hotel room. Like I would be like, "Peace out, I'm gone, bye." Like
Well,
forever gone. If I see a
so
spider in my house, like I want to burn it down, not even let alone a ghost, okay?
you're kidding. So
I'm not
okay,
kidding.
so you one
I'm
of these people that if there's like a spider or like an insect, you freak out, or is it just spiders? I mean, have you got like
I have gotten better since living in the farm because there's a
yes,
lot of things like lizards and snakes and stuff
yeah,
like that. But
yeah,
yeah, I'm not a big fan. Not a fan of like
yeah.
creepy crawlies, not a fan of paranormal. I like the harvest festivals and like the cutesy I am a fall girly. You're a Halloween girly. You don't know this, but all
Oh,
of what you just
really?
did,
Do you think
there's two
really?
distinct different types of women, okay? There's
Okay,
the
okay.
fall girlies
Yeah.
and they're excited for their pumpkin spice latte. They want to go apple
Okay.
picking. They
Yeah.
want to go get like cute crafts with their kids and like
Okay.
that's them, right? And then there's the
Yeah.
Halloween girlies who are like bring on
Oh.
the horror. I want my front yard to look like someone murdered someone. Like I want
Oh.
all of the deep gothic stuff at the store. Like they're very different. And
They're very
you,
different,
my
yeah.
friend, are a Halloween girly.
You're kidding. Yeah,
You
but
are.
I don't do the whole goth thing and I don't have any like tombstones outside, but I
Give
do
yourself
like
some
to be
time.
scared. Okay, okay. I mean, I've only been here. Yeah, okay. It may be like a few more years down the line. The girls would love it
Yeah.
if I went all out. But
Well,
it's very
we're cutesy over
interesting.
here. We can't be like, hey, let's put you in a horror house. I have a 1-year-old and an 8-year-old. Like we do like, ooh, I'm a ghosty. Like that's where we're at.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That is one funny thing. But we have started watching like Halloween type stuff now, the girls and I.
Yeah.
In fact, we just finished. Now this probably you probably hate this one too. Have you seen The Watcher? It's a Netflix
No,
series.
no.
It's good. So the girls went back to England in the summer, and Kyle was working away. So I had about a week where literally I was on my own, which is like unheard of. And so I was actually working on this. I was working while they were away. But I started watching this series called The Watcher. I don't know whether any of you guys at home have seen it, but it's pretty good. And the reason I like it is because that's loosely based on a true story. That's what's scary about it.
Yeah.
I like
Though
true stories. Yeah.
yeah, we're more like we watch Halloween Wars on the Food Network where they like build things out of cake. Like we're
You
not
know
gonna.
which one? You know which one I love? That oh God, nailed it.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes.
She's so good. What's her name? The woman who like hosts that.
Oh, I
She's so
forget.
funny.
She's
She's
so funny.
great. So when we first moved over to America, the girls found that show, and so and we still like watching it. And especially they'll always do like a holiday episode, and so there's a Halloween one. You should put it on for your girls. They'll think it's
I
funny.
will.
She is so funny. She's a scream.
Well, you
Well,
gotta watch it because the kids when they watch something. I have a good friend of mine. Her, I think at the time he was 6. He went to
right,
his grade school and
yeah.
he shared that he watched a bones and a man saw his foot off on
Oh
TV
shit.
that night. Right?
Oh my God. I bet it was like The
They were
Store or
watching a
something.
baking show where there was a cake
Oh.
like diagram of like a man who was like a skeleton without a foot, but he had
Oh.
described it to his teacher as this like horrible horror movie that like his mother let him watch. So you got to watch it with the small kids and
Yeah, you do.
I think that
You
that's a good
do.
place. I think that
So
sawing your foot in half is a good place to end our show.
I think so too. But just before we go, I want to know what you're doing on a Halloween then. So are you going
Mm.
trick or treating or what's the deal? Because you've got little ones
Yeah,
still, haven't
yeah.
you?
Well, at my daughter's school, because we live in a small town,
Yeah.
the whole school like shuts down in the morning and they do like a
Oh.
Halloween parade
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they
That's nice.
walk down the street to all the local businesses and then every business opens their doors and gives candy.
Oh nice.
And so we're doing that during school hours, and then I'll
Uh-huh.
probably volunteer for the Halloween party that they're going to do at the school. And
Yeah.
then we're dressing up the kids. Our plan is Stella has informed me that she wants to be Louisa from Encanto, the movie. I don't know
Oh,
if you're an Encanto
cute.
fan,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah, no, we went to see that at the cinema. Yeah, the girls still
yes,
love anything like that. Yeah, yeah.
she loves it. And she already has that costume. So aces, that's
I
awesome.
love that.
And we're thinking we're going to find a little toddler donkey costume for the baby.
I love it. That is
Yeah.
so sweet. Well, I'm not sure what the girls are going as. It's funny because like Sophia, so she's 15 now. For the last couple of years, her Halloween costumes have been a little, I don't know, dicey is what I would say. Her and her friends, like they, okay, so she's at an age where certain things are just not going to look appropriate anymore. For example, they said to me not last Halloween, the Halloween before, that they were going to go as bunnies. So I was like, oh, that's cute. Oh yeah, except not like the Easter bunny.
No,
They were
girl.
going as Playboy bunnies. I was what the f? I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god. I was like girls. I was like, no, 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 we can't. Like, it's not appropriate. I was like, do
Yeah.
you know like even like what you're trying to replicate here? So what I'm saying to you is, as your girls get older, you just need to be aware that the costumes are going to change, and there's going to be certainly a period where what they want to wear is kind of not age appropriate.
Yeah, I remember that myself. I remember being a teen and there
Yeah.
was a distinct shift between cute
Oh, there is.
costume and like
Oh my
now
god.
we're in
And
the adult section of the
and
store.
you're yeah, exactly. You're kind of like walking around trick or treating with like a bunch of strippers. I mean, that's kind of like where we're heading. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping, I don't know what her and her friends are going at this year, but I hope that it's just going to be a little more innocent
Oh
than
man.
the last year. So
I hope so
we will
too.
see. But I'm already sorted because obviously I can just whack on one of those, and by
Oh,
English standards, this is more than enough effort.
I don't think that you should wear that and be like, "Come in, children." Like it's a little bit of a dicey
It's a
vibe.
little much. It's a little much. It's a little much. Well, we'll see. Are you gonna get dressed up, or what's the deal?
I'm not sure. I always want to, and then
Yeah.
the execution isn't quite as good as I'd like it to be. But there
Yeah,
are
yeah,
so many
yeah.
moms at the Halloween parade that look so cute, and I'm like, I wish I was one of those moms. I need to get on it. Like I don't know. Maybe I'll be someone from Encanto. Maybe I'll just wear a supportive Encanto shirt. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's a nice thing. Yeah, that's another difference actually. The amount of effort that goes into like costumes here and the whole look, even by the adults, that's kind of scary to me. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god, like I don't have the energy to put into that. But yeah, so
yeah,
it's interesting, but there are definitely lots of differences between Halloween here and Halloween in the UK. But I will say, I think Halloween here is more fun.
yeah. Well, I don't have a comparison, but I will take it. Win for the Americans. Whoop whoop.
And it also helps that here in California, the weather's generally great in October, certainly here in San Diego.
Yeah.
So I remember before we moved here, I was talking to the girls and we were out trick or treating. And I said to them, next year, girls, we're going to be doing this in the sun and it's going to be warm. And they were like, yay. Because usually in England, it's like raining and miserable. So that's nice too. So this is a great time of year, especially in Southern California. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to embrace Halloween in the US.
Well, for our viewers listening, I would love to hear what are some of your family traditions or things that you do every year for Halloween if you celebrate. And maybe like
Uh-huh.
what's your favorite costume you've ever pulled off, whether it's for you or with your littles?
Yeah, let us know. We'd love to hear from you, and yeah, share your ideas with us. We're always desperately awaiting to chat with you guys. So that will be fun to find out how you are celebrating Halloween, especially mums of teenagers. I want to know what your teenagers are doing. And if you've got teenagers that are wearing kind of like inappropriate costumes, or if ever you've had some like fails, like looking back, you're like, geez, that was kind of a little dodgy. Shout us out. We want to know.
Oh man. Well, till then, happy Halloween to all of you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Happy Halloween. And so that brings us to the end of another episode of the Momversations Club.
And if you've enjoyed today's show, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a review. Your support helps us reach even more moms and build a village.
Yep, it sure does. And remember, we're here for you. And together we'll figure out, I promise, where the F is the village. Until then, have a great Halloween.
See you next time.